I'm Steve Mannion. Over all the years I've lived in Malawi, the Mulanje Massif has come to be one of my favourite travel destinations. I have made several very enjoyable ascents of the mountain, but latterly I've become more and more aware of the mystery and folklore surrounding it, and particularly its highest peak, Sapitwa. The protruding peaks, often encircled by cloudy mist, are impressive scenery. However, local people believe that spirits inhabit the mountain. This is a story about the mysteries and myths of Sapitwa Peak on Mulanje Mountain. It investigates as to why and how people disappear. It uncovers some of the unheard beliefs and the reasoning behind these so-called mysteries. The massif lies at over 3,000 meters altitude and is crowned by a rock peak, Sapitwa Peak, which translates as no-go area or restricted area in the local language Chichewa. According to the local community, legend has it that the mountain is the home of spirits. Linda Pronk, a 39-year-old Dutch citizen, was a development worker with the Voluntary Service Overseas organisation and was working in the laboratory of the Mulanje Mission Hospital. On the 12th of September 2003, Linda, with a party of friends and accompanied by mountain guides, ascended onto the mountain. They followed what was known as the Daniel Trail from Otto's camp near Kabenji village. This was not Linda's first time to climb the mountain. In fact, it was her 6th time. She was familiar with several different routes onto the peak. The group ascended Chuchisepo, a point on the plateau at the foot of Sapitwa Peak, where they camped for the night. On the following morning, at around 9 AM, Linda insisted on going up to Sapitwa Peak alone. The remainder of the group advised her not to go alone and even offered to pay a mountain guide to accompany her. However, she refused this offer. Despite the advice, Linda decided to climb the peak and set off alone.
Linda!
Her departure was witnessed by one of the mountain guides, who saw her and ran after her in an attempt to dissuade her from her ascent. She reluctantly agreed and walked back to the camp. She was last seen sitting on a rock near the campsite. As dawn approached, the remaining members of the group were at ease with the absence of Linda Pronk. Everyone assumed that she had left for the peak and perhaps met Dr. and Mrs. Bosch, who had also ascended to the summit of Sapitwa later that day. However, to their surprise, when the Bosches returned to the camp, they said they had never met Linda. On the 14th of September 2003, the group started looking for Linda. Their search was unsuccessful and they had to return because of the weather conditions worsened with severe wind and fog. On the same day, the message was sent to Mulanje Conservation Trust, and immediately about 150 villagers and other mountain guides were organised in order to assist with the search. Linda was last seen wearing a white t-shirt and shorts. She was carrying a novel and a bottle of water. The searchers were instructed to look for these items on the mountain. The advice of poachers was sought, as they were knowledgeable of the caves on the mountain in which Linda might have sought refuge. The search went on continuously for 4 days, but still no trace of Linda Pronk was found. By the 16th of September, the news about Linda Pronk's missing had spread. The Malawi army sent a helicopter to help with the search, but unfortunately worsening weather conditions obliged them to abandon the search after 2 days.
Sense of humour, and Hamas is raising so much money here. Why queer their deal? Good point. Anyway.
Linda's family was contacted.
Hello.
And Bert Pronk, her brother, contacted Linda's insurance company in Holland.
I'd like to speak to somebody about my sister.
And the insurance company, along with well-wishers, sent a dog team to assist in the search. The dog search team left Holland on the 23rd of September and arrived in Malawi on the 24th. This was 11 days after Linda had disappeared. They teamed up with mountain guides and set off to search for Linda. They were divided into groups of 3. The searchers spread across the mountain in the hope of finding some trace. After continuous searching for 5 days, the teams descended. No trace had been found. The dog team left for Holland and the search was scaled down. To this day, still no trace of Linda has been found, and it is now over 3 years since the date of her disappearance. The case remains open. Local people have their own explanations as to what might have happened.
Linda, usatira sembe, tingahanamkanjira imene esapita, usapitidwa. Iye mizimu inamukondadi ndikunkolowere, ngumakanjira imene gupanda, gubera tabwera upanda kuti nthawi imweyo, upanda mandege zija chani bibi. Ana nkhala kuti anali anthu okha makolo okha, ndikuatira sembe unya. Linda naone. Anabwera ko Linda.
Manganja and Longwe people on the base of the mountain believe that before one ascends to the peak, a sacrifice should be offered. The locals believe that when a person dies, his or her spirit ascends into the mountain. There have been cases where people did not actually die, but during their old age or sickness, they just disappeared. The local people believe this confirms the belief that they ascend to the mountain. The locals used to offer human sacrifice to the spirits, but with the introduction of Christianity, they stopped and continued with other types of offerings, such as food, in order to appease the spirits. who are these spirits and why is their permission needed? When a person goes missing, the villagers gather to offer food sacrifice. They plead with the spirits to release the victim. And although such an offering does not guarantee the return of the missing person, nor predict the duration for which they will be held, it is believed eventually they will be released. The locals also offer a sacrifice before they themselves ascend onto the mountain.